In today's episode, I want to talk to you why I use both a paper planner and a digital planner, and how I combine those two things to help me stay organized and help me not miss anything running multiple businesses in multiple cities. Hi, I'm David Archibald, and I have run businesses from USA to Asia, building them from scratch to ramping up multiple locations. And today I want to share with you one of the things that helps me stay organized, and it's really helped me be consistent in hitting my goals. Now, you might think a paper planner is pretty outdated, and I've gone back and forth between digital and paper. But there's some science behind why a paper planner actually works really well. Now, I did some research. I'm like, why is it that I keep falling back towards using a paper planner and using a digital calendar? And what I found out is there's a lot of science behind it. In the Psychological Journal, they found that when you write something down on paper, it really helps you remember. And when you're just typing, for whatever reason, you don't get that same connection in your brain. And for me, I found this to be really true. From somebody that went from in the 90s, constantly using a Franklin planner. And then, boy, when we went digital, I went all in on digital. And now I've come back to paper planners and digital. And the science behind it is, there's no refuting it, okay? When you write something down, you really remember. And I can tell you that's one of the best things that I've used in trying to control everything that's going on, is not only writing down things, but using a digital to keep all my appointments and everything across my iPad, across my phone, and my PC. Now, when I use my digital calendar or Outlook and I schedule things, or my executive assistant helps me scheduling, you can't beat that, okay? Paper planner can't do that. I can schedule these things, and it's on my phone, it's on my computer, and she moves things around and it's always there. But that's like just blocking out my time or saying, hey, this is what has to be done. With my paper planner, though, it's like I am more dictating the actual what rather than, just the time. And for example, on that, I use my planner a little bit differently. I use it partly as a journal. I kind of record everything that happened that day in general, but then I also use it as my power list, or my, eat that frog, my top 5 things that I have to get done that day. And that's something that I feel is really the most powerful for me. When I put it on a digital, checklist, it doesn't have the same feeling, because when I use it there for me to see all the time. And there is some power, and the science is there that when you're doing a physical checklist, it gives you a good feeling to see yourself making progress. And that part of being in the handwritten piece is really, for me, now, this really works for me. I'm sure for other people it might not. But for me, this works really well, is being able to see it and to feel and physically check off that list. That's really, really important for me. And also being able to have the planner close by. Now, I take this planner everywhere almost. I take it to the gym. I take it anytime I leave the office. It's always sitting close to where I can grab it at home. How many of you have been in the shower and had a really good idea and then forget to write it down? Well, I have mine right outside the shower, because I've had many times I've been thinking about something, oh, that's a good idea, and I write it down. And I have a page in the blank areas, not on the days, of ideas, and then I list those things down. So there's something that really works really well with that in memory and retaining that works really well for me with the paper planner. Now, digitally wise, the to-do list on here, it just doesn't give me that same feeling. But I can't not have my calendar set, okay? So having my schedule in the phone and then using the planner to partly journal or keep track of what was happening that day, and to jot down ideas and use my power list to accomplish the things I need to do, that's where the paper planner really works. Now, I'm doing this video because, it's time almost to break out the new planner for 2025. And I've been using, in the 8 years I've been in Vietnam, I started using different planners, and now I've worked my way to a specific planner that I really like. And I like the size of it and how, the tactile, how it feels in my hands actually. But as I get ready for this year, at the end of each year, I kind of look back and I kind of reflect on what happened. And I really like to be able to go back and look at a day and see what I was thinking and write down in reflection. Because reflection is one of the main keys of learning, okay? You can have events happen to you, but it's taken the time to write down and reflect with what happened that day. It also gives me a point to put in some gratitude, things that went really good that day. And one of the real secrets I have of why I use a planner is actually, so this is my grandfather, okay? This is James Kelly Archibald. This is Big Jim to me. And Big Jim was a successful businessman, and he grew multiple companies, entrepreneur. I really wish he had a planner I could go back and look at and read. I wish he had something that I could go back and think. So for me, myself, one of the other reasons I have these paper planners is that, my sons can go back maybe and read back what dad was thinking, or why did he do that? Or, how did he deal with that? So that's kind of my secret reason why I have the paper planner also. Much different than digital. How many laptops I have that I've lost everything on. I mean, there's so many things I maybe have done digitally that are worthless now, right? And so as I start to reflect on what happened this year and I get ready for next year, and I'm thinking, how can I do things better? How can I evolve and whatnot? This just came to my mind and said, you know what? I gotta share this because it's something that really works for me and really helps me. And now for me, I travel a lot, and I can go back to any day and I can look, oh, I was in this city today. And then this day I flew to a different city, and it gives me a time for reflection to go back through what happened at the end of the year. So for me, the combination of both digital and analog paper planner really makes a difference for me when it comes to managing teams and managing my business and managing my time. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. If you're into being more efficient, productivity, sales training, different things that I've learned that you could really benefit from learning from my mistakes, subscribe to my channel. I do my best to share something at least once a week. If you use planners, you use digital only, hey, give me some advice. Share me what you do, what works good for you. I'd love to see it in the comments. Thanks again for turning in, and I hope you can unlock your potential. Thanks.